guys, it's Chris, and today I'm actually going to do an episode 10 preview based off the footage we got after episode 9 last week. And so what I'm going to do here is just watch this little preview video and give you my thoughts on what the hell is going down, since this is the season finale already of season 6. Damn, this shit's flown by. Alright, so let's jump right in and take a look. The first thing right offhand is Cersei. She looks like she's putting on something to wear to a funeral, don't she?
Are you prepared to stand trial and profess your guilt or innocence before the Seven?
Alright, so we hear the High Sparrow talking. This is likely going to be the setup for Loris's trial. And we see Marjorie getting ready for it and King Tommen. Marjorie, of course, is still playing this game. She really don't believe in this shit, but she's playing the High Sparrow, and I'm still thinking the High Sparrow probably is on to her, only because he has the scepter always with her. So Tommen, I think, is fully engrossed in believing Marjorie as well. She's playing them both, and obviously she doesn't want to get pregnant by Tommen, so I think she wants out just for the safety of her family. So obviously we're going to get a lot of stuff in King's Landing kind of wrapped up for the season, and we may actually get a cliffhanger here based off what I'm seeing, because Cersei's got this plan with the wildfire. She's basically out of options here, since she's not going to get a trial by combat herself, so she knows she'll be found guilty. But at the same time, the High Sparrow needs Tommen to be king, and if she's found guilty and it's discovered that Tommen is a bastard, then that would kind of also undermine the High Sparrow. So she's really run out of options and is likely going to go for the wildfire. But I'm starting to think that the wildfire thing with Cersei may actually be a cliffhanger. We may not actually see it in episode 10. I'll get to that in just a second in another scene.
We need to trust.
Okay, now real quick on this little white crow or raven or owl or whatever the fuck it is. I'm not really sure if this is a shot just to show you how much time has passed since the battle. Obviously some time has passed, because we see now that there's a lot of snow around Winterfell. In the Battle of the Bastards, it was basically no snow on the ground except for little splotches here and there. I don't know if this bird here is of significance. I'm thinking that if it is, it could possibly be related to Bran, because we know Bran is now the last Green Seer. He is a warg. Could this perhaps be Bran heading towards Winterfell to give Jon a message perhaps? Maybe this is after the Tower of Joy, and perhaps he wargs this white raven to go communicate with Jon in some way, because normally white ravens are only sent out by the Citadel for stuff of importance like the coming of winter, etc., like we saw in a previous season where Grandmaster Pycelle came in to the small council, and he brought in the white raven in a cage and said, the days are officially getting shorter and summer is over. So another possibility being that white ravens are typically only sent from the Citadel is that perhaps this is something to do with Sam. Perhaps he's sending a letter of importance to Jon. Maybe he's found out now that Jon is back in Winterfell or something. This is just complete speculation, because we have no clue where Sam is right now, or if he's had time to even get into the Citadel and get set up as far as becoming a maester or whatever in the hell he's going to do now that he's running from his father with Heartsbane.
We have so many enemies now.
Alright, so we have Jon and Sansa having their little talk here. I'd imagine this has something to do with the battle that we just saw in the Battle of the Bastards. She withheld information from him as far as the Army of the Vale. It got a lot of fucking people killed. So I'm thinking here that he's basically kind of telling her, look, you should let me know about this little secret you had, this little ace up your sleeve. We've got to trust each other, so it's one of those type of conversations. It's going to probably set them up as being a little bit closer now, I suppose, because she's been really untrusting of Jon, and especially his company, Davos, Melisandre, Tormund, etc. But hopefully she gets her ass reamed about it, because a lot of people died because she kept that ace up her sleeve and held the Army of the Vale back and didn't include them in the battle plans that Jon and Davos and them needed.
The Freys and the Lannisters send their regards.
Alright, so next we had Walder Frey saying the Freys and the Lannisters send their regards. To me, this signifies that something's going to happen here. I'm not sure if we're going to get Arya. We know how the show deals with time and, different amounts of time pass in different places during the same shows. So I don't think we need to see Arya traveling from Braavos or anything. Matter of fact, I'd rather her just show up in Westeros. And maybe she has had time here in this next episode to have gotten to Westeros and made it all the way to the twins. So hopefully this has something to do with Arya coming in to kill fucking Walder Frey and get him off her list. And I'm really hoping we see that. But the only reason this scene is here is for something to happen. There's no reason just to show Walder Frey celebrating his little retaking of River Run for no reason. So something's going down here, and I'm hoping it's Arya. The other thing here is we see Jaime in this shot. So Jaime is there and not at King's Landing. This is what's making me think that the whole wildfire thing with Cersei may actually be a cliffhanger, unless they show this early on in the episode and Jaime has enough time to get back to King's Landing, because I do think that once she tries to set off the wildfire in King's Landing, whether she succeeds or not, that Jaime will try to be the one to stop and kill her and essentially be the Valonqar. So just the fact that Jaime is in this shot with the Freys almost leads me to believe that Cersei's going to last one more season which I thought she kind of would anyway, and this may end up being an episode 10 season finale cliffhanger as far as her setting the wildfire off.
What do you want?
I thought you knew what I wanted.
And then of course we have Sansa and Littlefinger meeting in the God's Wood at Winterfell, and she's basically saying, now what do you want since you sent your army of the Vale up here? So I'm guessing here this is going to be pretty straightforward, and it's going to be a marriage proposal. Littlefinger wants power. He wants power in the north as well. He already has the Vale basically through Robin. Now he wants to marry Sansa, and it would essentially be the Lord of Winterfell if he married her, since she is a female, even though she's a Stark. So Littlefinger needs Sansa just like Ramsay Bolton did. So all he's doing is doing it for the power. So he's going to likely propose marriage here, but I don't see that going down. And that may be based off the conversation she has with Jon.
Tell him what you did to him. Tell him!
All right, so next we have Davos, and he is pissed off, and this is something that should have went down a long time ago. He has just found out last episode, obviously, about Shireen. So instead of going to straight up kill Melisandre, he is going to tell Jon, since they now consider Jon their commander and, you know, the prince that was promised or whatever, because he did come back to life. It seems to be he's the leader and he's supposed to do something with Melisandre here, according to Davos, like he's supposed to, you know, pass down some kind of punishment or something. So it seems to be Davos wants her punished for burning Shireen, but the thing is that she did it off Stannis' order. So yeah, she recommended it, and he knew this was the kind of person she was based off her religion from seasons ago. Then he goes and asks for her magic to bring Jon back, and now he's mad again that she's using magic. But what that may have done, though, what he's got to realize is the sacrifice of Shireen, although it was a horrible thing, may have actually led to Jon Snow's resurrection, or at least clearing the snow for them to get back to Jon Snow to resurrect him in the first place. So, but I don't see Melisandre dying quite yet. I would think it would be better if once Dany gets across the Narrow Sea and the red priests and priestess that come with her and think she is Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised whatever, kind of goes up against Melisandre and says, wait a minute, no, I have the prince that was promised because he came back to life. Well, no, my girl's the prince that was promised because she can't be burned by a fire, she has dragons, etc. So that should be a pretty interesting scene if that ever happens.
Oh, you're free.
All right, quick shot of Bran. So that's just telling us we're going to see a little Bran. They're going to keep us in the dark here because we are going to see likely the Tower of Joy Part 2. And yes, I do think we will get that RLJ reveal, but I don't necessarily know if Jon finds out in the same episode. That will likely be a cliffhanger kind of for him as a character. Going back to that White Raven we saw earlier, maybe that is Bran after he sees the truth, and perhaps he's trying to get a message to Jon via a White Raven. Maybe he's actually working the White Raven, or it could just be a damn beautiful bird in the sky.
Good.
All right, so we see Daario and Dany hooking back up, and she looks like she's all in love again with him or whatever, but I still think there's something up with Daario, so I don't see him making it to Westeros here. Maybe this is their goodbye scene or something like that. I don't know if we'll find out in the show who the Harpy is or was, if there was one Harpy in the show. Perhaps it may be just it was a collective of people, so maybe it's not Daario, but there's still something up with him, but I don't know. We'll just see. We don't have enough information really, so.
You're in the great game now.
And then next here we see Lancel walking along, and I don't think Lancel's going to make it, because honestly I fully expected Lancel to die the last episode when the mountain ripped that guy's skull and spine out of his damn body. There's no reason to show Lancel unless he's walking to prevent something or warn somebody about something, but perhaps Cersei sticks Franken Mountain on him and shuts him up finally for good. And his damn forehead tattoo.
And the great game is terrifying.
So we finally get the line from Tyrion about, you're in the great game now and the great game is terrifying. I thought this was to Dany. It made sense for it to be to Dany once she gets back. So this tells me that they are going to in fact head for Westeros because she's in the great game now. As far as the Game of Thrones, she has now made a pact with the Ironborn as far as Yara and Theon. So I believe they're going to head off, and I do believe one of the scenes in episode 10 will be in fact them going to Westeros in their newly acquired ships they just got from the Yunkai Masters to set up season 7. Anyway, that's all we really have, just pure speculation, not a lot of information, but just based off some past events. So there's going to be a lot to be crammed in this episode, so they're going to keep it short and vague and kind of keep us in the dark. So we should get some big reveals, some good Bran stuff, RLJ perhaps, and likely a cliffhanger or two about a couple things, and we won't find out about that until next April, of course. So anyway, guys, that's all I had. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know what you think of these little scenes here and what do you get out of them, anything I've missed. Anyway, guys, thanks for all the support. Really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you